D-Day, a World War II battle long over but not forgotten, helped by some brave U.S. soldiers, directed by one Knoxville man.
Going My Way, hosted by Alan Williams, sponsored by Ted Russell Ford Lincoln.
So, grandfather of William Hooper.
Yeah, everybody called him Ed Hooper. He started out really in Ray Fisher Garage and then made enough money to open his own garage down at 5 Points and ran, of course, a package service when it started out, and then it sort of evolved into Hooper Motor Service. And in 1940, war was sort of becoming evident here in the States. And then, of course, a year later, Pearl Harbor, he decided to volunteer as a civilian instructor at Camp Lee and said, okay, you're going to be instructing in automobiles, trucks, and mechanics for the Quartermaster Corps, which at the time was mainly black. He was training these guys how to drive trucks, how to work on them, how to fix them, if little shortcuts you could take, because in an emergency, that truck's got to run. In the process, he invented a device that allowed them to, with a jack, change a tandem tire without having to put themselves at risk to do so.
In the meantime, overseas, the invasion was getting ahead of the supplies.
And so one of the generals of the Quartermaster Corps came up with an idea of creating a convoy system. And their job was to bring these trucks in off the beach, load them up with fuel, because I think they went through 425,000 barrels of fuel a day. It was this ungodly number. Mm-hmm. And start rolling them on the highways that were left. The 75% of those that drove these trucks are black, that had trained at Fort Lee.
And trained by Hooper. At its peak, more than 5,900 vehicles were involved, carrying over 12,000 tons of supplies a day.
And it became known as the Red Ball Express.
This is the Red Ball Express.
And it was legendary. I mean, without it, we wouldn't have been able to keep our troops supplied and kept them fighting the German. I don't believe anybody knew at the time that truck drivers would be so vital to, the American war effort.
A little known and celebrated story of a devoted group of African-American soldiers trained by an East Tennessee man that led to victory for the U.S. and its allies. Going My Way, I'm Alan Williams.
As used car managers at Ted Russell Ford, we're always on the lookout for quality pre-owned vehicles.
Oh, you didn't see the man on Parkside Drive looking to sell an F-150.
Roger that. Nick and Jake en route.
Want it at Ted Russell Ford. Pre-owned vehicles, any make, model, or condition. Get cash on the spot for your car today. Find out how much yours is worth at tedrussellford.net. We'll even come to you.
Pleasure doing business with you. We're buying cars at Ted Russell Ford on Kingston Pike and Parkside Drive.